Hey guys, now that everyone has had some time to digest the news, I wanted to recap it all and give you my thoughts on everything. Now before I get into the analysis, here's some fresh news. With the patch came a lot of behind the scenes House of Wolves data. This includes a 3-player social space of some sort called the Halls of Amentet, with the description, "Only the true champions tested in the trials of Osiris dare set foot in these fabled halls." This could be that one area in the tower that we haven't been able to get into yet by the speaker's chambers. Also, there are 2 strikes, one we've seen before, but one new one that may be the PlayStation exclusive strike. The new strike is called the Shadow Thief. Its description says, "Tanix Sin, the Fallen's most notorious mercenary, is leading a strike force on the moon. Board his catch and kill him, or he'll continue to cut a trail of death across the system." The Prison of Elders is in the database with the description, "This combat arena pits brave Guardian fire teams against the solar system's deadliest enemies. Not all who enter survive, but those who do earn glory and the greatest treasures of the reef." I'll also put the story missions and quest names and descriptions on screen so you guys can get some insight into what we'll be doing. Spoiler alert though, skip over it if you want to be surprised. Instead of going through all the patch notes, the major ones you need to know are the vault increase, UI improvements, ammo changes to PvP, and multiple raid fixes. I'll put a link to all the patch notes in the description so you can read them yourself. So overall, this patch is just absolutely huge. All of the things that have been put in are pretty much just community requests. I can remember back in the first day of the game, they said, "Hey, we want audio options." Finally, they're here. "Hey, we need colorblind options." They're finally here. Just everything in this patch is all about stuff from the community, so I'm really glad to see that. So before giving any analysis on the official news, I wanted to first talk about something you may not have seen yet. Deej recently posted on a topic on the Bungie forums that talked about the wish list for Destiny and what the community wants to see. Ironically, everything he mentioned was in a recent article we made titled 10 Simple Things Destiny Needs. I was really shocked when I saw that these things were being looked into. So I'll get right into it. He says that transmogrification, private crucible matches, and gunskins are among the most frequently requested wishes for Destiny. He warns that we can't promise that every idea is being worked on. We do want to confirm that you've been heard. So don't expect to necessarily see these things in House of Wolves right away, but we at least know that these are big requests that Bungie knows about and will probably eventually make it into the game at some point. On screen is his topic post, so you can pause the video and read the rest if you'd like. Now, onto the real meat and potatoes. If you saw our recent video, then you know there's not going to be a raid in the House of Wolves expansion. Specifically, Urk said that, "We didn't make this decision lightly. Our team has been humbled by the reception of raids in Destiny, and we are creating a new raid for release later this year." And I can say with certainty that the raid coming later this year will be the one included with the Comet expansion. I've talked about this before, but if this is the first time you're actually hearing of Comet, Activision defines it as a major content expansion. A few months ago, the CEO of Activision said that we have a major content release coming in the fall and a very robust pipeline planned after that. So we know that Comet is confirmed for fall 2015 and will have a raid. Fall is also when Xbox users will get access to the PlayStation exclusive content, so you can finally use Hawkmoon. According to the leaked timelines, Plague of Darkness will have roughly double the amount of activities than the normal small expansions have. So the question becomes, will House of Wolves be any good without a raid? I think we really just need to wait and see, because right now the 3-player Prison of Elders mode has me really excited. Not only is this activity brand spanking new to Destiny, but it's based on variety, replayability, and skill, obviously all great things to have in Destiny. You can bet that there's still going to be gear associated with it as well, just like the raid would, but perhaps given out on a different format. And we know from Luke Smith that he's indicated Bungie's interest in making progression and rewards less arbitrary and more respectful of time investment. Reddit user The Miffins thinks Prison of Elders may be something similar to Crusaders Coliseum from World of Warcraft, which is an activity that takes place in an arena setting, essentially fighting waves of bosses, no trash in between. Now something like that would make sense, seeing as the Prison of Elders is known to contain many royals from the House of Wolves. Perhaps we'll be fighting them, with the final boss being a Prime Servitor. Calyx Prime is the other former Prime Servitor of the House of Wolves in the Reef. After the Queen of the Reef murdered the House's Kell, Calyx went into hiding, and the Awoken are currently hunting him. We shouldn't rush to judgment about the arena activity just yet. I think a lot of people are placing preconceived notions on it before we can even get a chance to see it in action. Fortunately, we will get to watch it live on Twitch on May 6th though, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's also worth mentioning that since it's based around replayability, we may even get matchmaking for it. No word on this officially yet, but it would make sense to have that option there. And if nothing else, even without matchmaking, it's going to be easier to form a group because it's a 3-player activity. As for the gear upgrades and Trials of Osiris, not much is known right now. We will be getting more information before the expansion is released, but we'll just need to wait and see for more details. Right now it's confirmed that we can upgrade the attack level on Vault of Glass weapons, and I'd assume Crotazen weapons as well. You'll also be able to upgrade your current other legendary and exotic armor and weapons. Aside from the new PvE activity, the new PvP activity called Trials of Osiris is equally exciting because it'll also provide really cool in-game gear and more competitive playing field because of its elimination factor. From what we know so far, which is just based on data mined info, is that you'll only be able to lose 3 times before having to earn your way back in. Whether that means playing with Motes of Light or getting invited in some way, I'm not really sure. R. Hamilton Wright is the voice of Osiris in Destiny, and Osiris is an old warlock who is exiled from the city, so he may also be the narrator during the event, just as Shaxx narrates the regular Crucible games. As with almost everything in this expansion, Bungie is streaming it on Twitch before it's released, so you'll be able to check out the Trials of Osiris on Wednesday, April 29th. All in all, I'm really excited for everything to come. I know it's a bummer to not have a raid for this expansion, but I think Prison of Elders will be a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't knock it until you try it. Deej mentioned on our podcast that they would rather deprive you of an unfinished product than rush one out, and it's clear they want to make this new raid better than we currently expect. Again, an actual raid will be coming later this year, according to Bungie, and we assume that means the major expansion known as Comet. You can bet, especially with the backlash that they're getting from this announcement, that they're going to make it epic. And that about sums it up. The podcast should be coming out earlier than we anticipated this week, and we've certainly got a lot to talk about. I can't wait to get the podcast team in a roundtable discussion and actually see what everyone's thoughts are on all this stuff. As always, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.